I want to start today with the battlefield, not a metaphor, an actual battlefield. Kurukshetra. 5,000 years ago, two armies lined up, and in the middle, in a chariot, one of the greatest warriors who ever lived, his name is Arjuna, and he drops his bow. His body fails him. His legs give out, his vision blurs, he cannot speak, he cannot move. He's in complete collapse in the middle of a battlefield surrounded by enemies. If Arjuna walked into a hospital today, we would know exactly what was happening. Dorsal vagal shutdown, acute nervous system collapse under perceived existential threat. So what Lord Krishna says to him next is the oldest nervous system regulation manual in human history. And it is everything we are talking about on this show. Welcome back to Fences and Flowers. I'm Dr. Sushma Manda. This is episode 3 of our Welcome series. And today we go somewhere that most shows in this place do not have the range to go. We are bringing the ancient and the modern into the same room. And I promise you, by the end of this episode, you will never read the Gita the same way, and you will never think about your Tuesday night the same way either. So, Arjuna drops his bow on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Krishna, his charioteer, his guide, his God, does not say, push through. Does not say, remember your duty. Does not say, other people have it worse. What Krishna says is this: you're not this role, you're not this fear, you're not the panic in your chest or the collapse in your legs. The Atman, the true self, is not subject to his chaos. The true self is the witness, the one who can be in the fire without being consumed by it. This is powerful. In modern neuroscience, we would say Krishna was teaching Arjuna to access his ventral vagal state in the middle of acute sympathetic activation, right? To find the regulated self inside the dysregulated moment of war. That's not spiritual luxury available only to people with enough time to meditate. It's a neurobiological capacity that every human being has already within themselves, and almost nobody has been taught to access it. And what I really love about this is Krishna does not remove the battlefield. The armies are still there. The enemies, the stakes are still real. The difficulty is not dissolved. What changes is who Arjuna knows himself to be inside it. That is the whole game. Not the absence of pressure, but the presence of self inside the pressure. A Course in Miracles says something that stopped me cold the first time I read it. It says, the ego is not the enemy. It's simply a mistaken identity. This is simply mind-blowing. The Gita calls it ahamkara, the constructed self, the false identity we build under pressure and then mistake for the whole truth of who we are. Modern neuroscience calls it the default mode network running on survival-based programming. 3 completely different traditions, same exact diagnosis. So the version of you that overfunctions, that cannot ask for help, that ties your entire worth to your output, that keeps score in relationships, that's emotionally unavailable to the people you love most, that's not your truth, right? That is an adaptation. And A Course in Miracles talks about is not a supernatural event. It's a shift in perception. It's game-changing. Let me make that completely real. Stay with me. Let's say you're driving your kid to soccer practice. They forget their cleats again, and something in you snaps. The words that come out are sharper than the moment actually deserves, and you see their face change. And the second it happens, you absolutely know that was not about the cleats. But you do not know how to walk it back, so you turn the music up and everybody sits in silence for the rest of the drive. That snap is fear. Fear that you are failing them. Fear that you are becoming your own parent. Fear that love is not enough if you cannot also control the outcome. The shift, the miracle, is the moment you catch it. Before the snap or even after, where you pull over, turn the music down and say, hey, I'm sorry. That was mine, not yours. That is not weakness. That's a reorganized nervous system expressing a completely different identity. I'll give you another example. Let's say your partner says, I feel like you're not really here anymore, and your immediate internal response is defensiveness, isn't it? Or shutdown. Or you start listing everything you do for this family as evidence that you are, in fact, here. Fear says, I'm being attacked. I must defend. But the shift, the miracle is, they are telling me they miss me. And somewhere under all of this armor, I miss me too. I've got one more example for you. You're attending, you're bored, your investor, your parent says something critical. And for the next 6 hours, you're in a complete spiral. Replaying it, rewriting it, building your case in your head, losing sleep over a moment that's already gone. Fear says, I'm only safe if I'm perfect. Love says, I'm allowed to be seen, corrected, and still be enough. These are not small moments. These are the moments your entire life is actually built from. One perception at a time. And the shift from fear to love in those moments, that is what this show is designed to facilitate. Not as a concept, as a lived, embodied, daily practice. I want to say something before we close this episode. This work is not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming less defended, less armored, more available to the life that's already here and the people who are already in it. The Atman Krishna was pointing Arjuna toward was not some future version of himself he needed to earn. It was the truth of who he already was beneath that panic. The same is true for you. The regulated, present, the alive version of you is not a project. It is what is left when you stop performing. Episode 4 of this welcome series is called The Gap Nobody is Standing In. And it's where we talk about something nobody in the personal development space, the medical space, or the leadership space has named clearly enough. The space between the system and the therapist's office, the gap where millions of high-functioning humans or neurons are living their lives without a single framework that speaks both languages. And why in the age of AI, nervous system regulation is about to become the most important line on your resume. Go straight to episode 4. And if this episode moved something in you, if the Arjuna story or the soccer cleats or the partner conversation hit somewhere true, share it. Someone in your life is in the middle of that spiral right now and does not have the language for it yet. Please give them this. I'm Dr. Sushma Manda. This is Fences and Flowers. See you in episode 4.